Yeah. What we love, and I think one of the reasons why we wanted to invite you on the podcast was the games that you do, because they're we've seen so many of them, but where do you draw your inspiration from? Because we'll try and include some videos within this podcast, so if people haven't seen your Instagram videos, they can see within this podcast. But where do you draw your inspiration from, and what's the reaction like from kids and parents? Because they look amazing.
It's just this crazy chaos that I think everybody just wants to be involved in.
And it's not something you necessarily associate with golf, which is the best thing. The best thing about it.
That is what golf is about, not this kind of like this strict environment. Yeah. It's what you guys are doing with kids.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. Like the sessions are based around golf. They definitely are, and a big chunk of it is about making sure that they're prepared for going on the golf course, because that's a massive aim of ours as an academy, but then also hoping that they want to try to improve their golf a little bit and get better at it. But yeah, we always make sure that within each session, or at least every other session, we have some like kind of, it's almost like a party, I guess, where we'll have some real crazy kind of games. I don't really know where I get them from. I just kind of check out YouTube a lot and have a look on there and find some guy in the States or wherever around Europe doing some funky game, and I think, well, I wonder if I could turn that into a golf session, and I just figure it all out. So I spend a couple of hours each week planning what I'm going to do. I'll sit down and think about every session and how it's going to work with the facility we're at and the equipment that I've got and the kids that are in the sessions, and suss it out. And once you get a good game, it's pretty nails. It's brilliant. I really enjoy it. It's just really good fun. It's purely just like I was as a kid, just playing golf just for the sake of play. It hasn't got to have sometimes doesn't have to have a purpose. It can just be for the sheer sake of play, which is a massive purpose in its own right, but it kind of has a it appears to be less purposeful, doesn't it? But
yeah.
Children learn through play, that's a fact. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what you're doing, I think it's amazing. Personally, I love it. I love watching your videos and things.
Oh, good, thank you. Yeah.
I think what was really interesting there that you touched on, I'd like to sort of evolve this, because I've just thought of something else that I'd like to speak to you about in relation to this, which is preparing kids for the golf course. And I think this is really important. So we are trying to work with our local club to introduce things like as basic as it is, like junior tees. Especially in winter conditions when courses get boggy, they put temporary greens in place. You don't quite get the rollout off the tee. All of these factors, I think, can impact a child's enjoyment. Certainly on a fully sized golf course. Again, I think it's just trying to think in terms of tips and advice and the work that you do to help prepare kids, because I know a lot of coaching generally, the perception is it's from tee to green. But I think a lot of coaches who we spoke to generally reverse engineer that, and it's sort of from the green backwards. Yeah. What's your approach in that respect? And do you feel golf clubs are doing enough to basically get more juniors on the golf course?
Yeah, great question. I like it. I mean, going back to like the first point, kids are ready to go and play on the golf course if they want to go and do it. It's not like there's a test that they've got to pass, that they have to be able to hit it X distance. If they want to go and play on the course, just go and play on the course. Like it's not a big thing. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of sort of, I think they're almost like psychological barriers with parents that play golf and with kids that parents that don't play golf. It's like, oh my God, can I really take my kids onto the golf course? And then there's a lot of, I do believe there is, a good amount of responsibility from each club to make sure that their course is opening and welcoming, and they create the right environment for it to happen. You obviously wouldn't want to plonk a 5-year-old kid with one club and a putter going out to play 3 holes on a golf course in the midweek medal. That would be a complete nightmare, wouldn't it? It'd be a car crash. So you have to sort of make sure that say the tee is on a quiet afternoon or an evening, that there's whatever, half an hour of tee times or an hour where there is space for them to do it. But yeah, in terms of, like you said, reverse engineering, so starting it from the green and working backwards, you can do that. Yeah. I mean, I can't really see a problem with going on from junior tees and giving it a whack. If they miss it and they just want to throw it. And if they want to just move it up the fairway and stick it on the fairway and smack it from there, it's just playing on the course that I think is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd almost feel if we had a kid that was walking, if you're on a 400-yard hole and he said, right, you're going to start from the green every time, that kid's going to be like, you're kidding me, I've got to walk all the way down there. Like 400 yards to a 5-year-old kid's like a mile, isn't it?
It's exactly.
I'm not sure I'd want to do that. So you can come out with ways, if you want it to be really creative, you hit a shot from the tee, you get it on the fairway, you get a point. Well, let's say if you did want it to score it, you can get a point, and then you move it closer, and if you keep it on the fairway, you get another point, or whatever you want it to do. There's no sort of do's and don'ts and like I say, tests are passed to just be on the course. I think that's where we're trying to go. It's where we're trying to improve. With our coaching, we do have a lot of kids out on the course that play and that play independently. We're starting to sort of develop that. So going out on the course when it's not a structured event and just playing because for the sheer sake of play, it's still got a long way to go. We're definitely not there yet. But from where we were 6 or 7 years ago, we hardly had any. So it's we're going in the right direction.